So what is it that I should do? Should I take path A or should I take path B? We spend so much time thinking about what is the right decision? What is the right choice? But oftentimes we leave out the fact that we get to choose how we feel about our choice. That no matter which path we choose, how we get to our destination is oftentimes more important, right? If you need to get to the airport and you could take the freeway or you could take the frontage road, well, one path may be busy and you won't get there on time. The other path may have a detour on it, and you may not get there on time that way either. And so we debate and we think, what is the best way to get where we need to go? Isn't that the decision that we're trying to make? But are we really thinking about how we get there? Not which path we choose, but the state we're in. Isn't that what's important? The state of being that we're in, no matter what happens in life. Because one thing's for certain, you can't control the outcome. Maybe you gambled and you got it right. Maybe you meticulously thought about it and you got it right. Maybe that happens. But one thing's for certain, even if you choose the right path, something could totally change your life course tomorrow. And that's why it is so important. It is so crucial to spend more of our time thinking about the way that we're going to get there within ourselves. Am I going to accept whatever happens? Am I going to accept the consequences? I mean, after all, even if you don't choose anything, something's going to happen, isn't it? You don't have to make the world turn. You don't have to make tomorrow happen. Tomorrow's going to happen. And lots of things may happen tomorrow, and the choices you make may make things easier or more difficult. But regardless of it being easier or more difficult, how are you going to happen? How are you going to happen inside of yourself? If you're focused on the outcome, you may be willing to do crazy things to get to a certain outcome. But do you really want to be in a frantic, crazy mindset? Think about the outcomes. Do those things. Plan ahead. But isn't thinking about your state of being the most important thing? That regardless if I choose path A or path B, I'm going to be within myself a state of contentment, a state of acceptance that life is going to happen and I can't control the outside. What I can control is what's happening within myself. If I choose a path and something bad happens, am I going to beat myself up? Well, plan ahead. That's what you should be planning, right? In addition to whatever else decisions or thoughts you're having, plan how you're going to treat yourself if you make a choice and it doesn't turn out right. Are you going to comfort yourself and say, it's okay, let's focus on today and take the next step? Or are you going to beat yourself up and say, oh, I made the wrong choice? Plan for that. Be prepared to treat yourself nicely. Be prepared to say, I did my best. Because that's the best you can do. If we do our best and the best doesn't happen, that's okay, isn't it? If we try and it doesn't work out and maybe there was a better option, more comfortable, easier, that's okay, isn't it? How you treat yourself and how you are within inside of yourself, that's what really matters, isn't it? Because you can have somebody who has the worst life situation, but they have organized their internal world very well, and they know how to deal with it, and they accept it. And you can have somebody who got everything, but because one little thing went differently, they're upset. Or even if they got what they want, they're upset. So I can never tell you if choice A or choice B is the correct path. But what is a good choice is deciding how you are going to be regardless of what happens. It's choosing how you're going to feel regardless of what happens. Accepting that it's okay to be kind to yourself. It's okay to just enjoy what good you do have. And it's okay to let go of what could have been. How you are when you get to your destination, isn't that most important? Regardless of what happens in life, how you're experiencing life, isn't that most important? And do you want your experience of life to be completely attached to things that are out of your control? What percentage of control do you want to give your circumstances rather than giving your own personal self-direction? Do you want others and circumstances to have control over your state of being, or do you want to have control over your state of being? That's most important. 10% maybe, and maybe 20% in the circumstances and the outcome. But the majority of our attention, should it not be on how we treat ourselves, how we think about ourselves, how we feel within ourselves, regardless of the outcome? This is the Voice of Melchizedek, where I present my perspective